2025 is my year. My money goals have been flourishing, but it hasn't always been the case. I remember feeling so anxious around money, never feeling like I had enough. And no matter how hard I tried, the numbers just never made sense. But now, with capital, I can automatically save no matter what. I save before I spend, and I've never seen so much money in my bank account. I promise y'all, it's been a game changer. I've paid off so much debt and I am this close to buying my dream house. Reach your goals with capital. Use my referral code HT4CP65F and get $25 off when you sign up. Go to get.capital.com. That's get.capital.com and use my code HT4CP65F today. Use my code HT4CP65F to reach your money goals today. All right. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the show. Thank you so much for continuously showing up, supporting, and tuning in. I am reading all of your comments. I am reading all of the commentary, the shares, the engagement. I love it so much. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. It's been amazing to see how much we have grown since we started this little journey. We have 4 episodes out, so please keep streaming. We want to get to that 1% top of the charts podcast. And in the spirit, I'm going to read one of the reviews that we got. This is straight from Apple. Unsolicited with Gabrielle is a powerful and inspiring podcast that dives deep into the realities of substance abuse and the resilience of those working toward recovery. It's thoughtfully crafted. The host creates a safe and supportive space, blending empathy with hope, making it not just educational, but deeply moving. Whether you're in recovery, supporting someone who is, or just seeking to understand addiction better, this podcast serves as a beacon of encouragement and understanding. It's a must listen for anyone looking to connect with real stories and actionable advice. Thank you. That review was geared towards our dry January theme. So I want to thank that user. There's another review, dope podcast, great listen. I recommend people tune in. Period. Let's read some of the reviews from Spotify, shall we? Girl, first, you have the perfect podcast voice. Thanks, girl. Second, I really enjoyed this episode. Proud of you. All right. So thank you again, everybody, for leaving those incredible reviews. I appreciate them so much. Keep streaming, keep sending me your messages, and keep dropping those reviews. They mean everything to me. So let's hop right into the show because it's a good one. I promise you. We're talking about the ups and downs of entrepreneurship, staying true to yourself, and how sometimes just being you is the best niche there is. Plus, we got an amazing guest, Robert McKinney, a realtor and broker who's going to drop some gems about working with contractors, personal growth, and chasing dreams. So we're going to start with the TikTok drama. If you've been keeping up, you know it's been a whole thing. Every day it feels like there's a new rumor or update about its future. And listen, this is why it's so important to think about diversifying your streams of income. I talked about this on the last show. If we've learned anything from the TikTok saga, it is diversifying your streams of income, especially if you're a creator or entrepreneur relying on platforms like this. So again, building that email list. We talked about new apps that are coming up like Fanbase. And so, you want to make sure you're diversifying your outreach. You want to make sure you're diversifying how you reach your customers, okay? And you want to make sure you own as much of your content as possible, right? So if you're always posting on Instagram and Instagram goes down, what do you do? If you're always posting on TikTok and TikTok goes away, what do you do? So building that email list or owning your content, like starting a podcast, wink, wink, right? Those are some things you can be doing to really help become an owner of the media that you produce. So as you know, I always say, don't put all your eggs in one basket. TikTok is amazing, but it's just one tool. If it goes away, what are your backup plans? So keep that in mind as we navigate this digital landscape. So now let's get a little bit into the latest DEI. Now, your boy Trump, there's some big conversations happening around Trump's executive order targeting DEI programs. It's a lot to unpack, but the bottom line is this. representation matters. Programs like these have helped so many underrepresented groups, including veterans, get access to opportunities they deserve. So, a couple potential areas of concern about the rollback of DEI policies. So, if DEI policies are rolled back at companies that actively recruit veterans, this might reduce the emphasis on hiring veterans. So, no significant trend has been reported yet, but this could evolve. And some DEI funding in colleges and training programs helps veterans gain access to skill building opportunities. Veterans in programs without explicit federal protections might face challenges if DEI focused grants disappear. So far, there's no direct evidence that veterans have been harmed today by the rollback or scaling back of DEI initiatives. However, veterans could face longer term indirect effects, particularly in employment, mental health support, and funding for tailored programs. For those of you who don't know, I am a U.S. Navy veteran. I served on active duty for 6 years and 1 year in the reserves. I heard a lot of chatter around veterans maybe being affected by Trump's rescinding the DEI policies. The DEI policies can absolutely affect military veterans, though their impact depends on how these policies are structured and implemented. Here are a few ways DEI policies intersect with the veteran community. So, employment and hiring practices. Many DEI initiatives in workplaces include veteran hiring programs or initiatives. Veterans are often classified as part of underrepresented groups in the workforce, particularly if they belong to other historically marginalized groups. So, for example, women veterans, veterans of color, LGBTQ veterans, or those with disabilities. Rescinding DEI policies could reduce the emphasis on targeted efforts to hire and support veterans in corporate, government, and nonprofit roles. Also, support for disabled veterans. Veterans with service related disabilities often benefit from DEI policies that emphasize accessibility, reasonable accommodations, and inclusive work culture. Removing these policies could make it harder for disabled veterans to thrive in the workplace. Then we have recognition of intersectionality. Many veterans fall into multiple categories supported by DEI efforts, including myself. For example, being both a veteran and a person of color, or a veteran and a woman. In my case, a woman, a veteran, and a person of color. Without DEI policies, these intersectional identities might receive less consideration, resulting in fewer tailored resources and programs. DEI initiatives in education and training programs, like those within universities, businesses, or government organizations, often create pathways for veterans to build skills, transition into civilian life, or secure leadership positions. These pathways might shrink without active DEI policies. Then we have mental health and wellness. Some DEI efforts explicitly focus on fostering environments that support mental health for marginalized groups. This can be especially relevant for veterans dealing with PTSD, military sexual trauma, or other mental health challenges. And finally, we have community based support. DEI initiatives often influence how funding is distributed to community organizations. Programs aimed at helping veterans, especially those facing homelessness, unemployment, or mental health issues, could lose funding or prominence if DEI efforts are scaled back. So, while DEI policies aren't always specifically targeted at veterans, they frequently include provisions or funding that benefit the veteran community, particularly those in underserved subgroups. Without these policies, veterans could face reduced support, fewer tailored programs, and more barriers to accessing the resources that they need to thrive in civilian life. But as of today, there is no substantial evidence or widespread reporting of veterans being directly or negatively affected by changes or rollbacks to DEI policies in a significant, measurable way. However, the potential for such impacts exists depending on how DEI policies are replaced or dismantled, and these are things we can keep an eye on as they progress. Again, so far, as of today, as of this recording, on January 3rd, 2025, there is no direct evidence that veterans have been harmed today by the rollback or scaling back of DEI initiatives. However, veterans could face longer term indirect effects, particularly in employment, mental health support, and funding for tailored programs, if the trend toward eliminating DEI programs continues. So, monitoring the situation is all we can do right now and will be key to understanding any evolving impacts. Okay. Okay. But again, this is just another reminder to take control of your own journey, whether that means starting your own business, building your skills, or finding ways to create your own opportunities. Even if you are a 9 to 5 worker, you can still find other streams of income to supplement what you already have. So maybe that could mean renting your car out on Turo. Maybe that could mean renting a extra bedroom on Airbnb. Perhaps that could mean learning how to invest, learning how to use the stock market. Your money is an employee, okay? Your money works morning, noon, at night, and overnight. How can you employ and direct your money to make money for you? Your money should be making money for you. It should not be just going out there in the ether being spent on random shit that does not bring any value back to you. Now, we're going to talk about money throughout the show, but I just wanted to say that because sometimes we get into this mindset that I don't have enough, when really you have more than enough, but you are living beyond your means. And that is a lesson that I had to learn the hard way. Living below my means has given me the opportunity to spend my money on other things, whether that be to pay down debt, whether that be for other extracurricular activities, and to invest in the stock market. So we'll be talking more about that as the weeks go on and as the podcast grows. But I will most definitely be exploring money, the role money plays in our lives, the function of money. And that being said, today I want to talk about a book that I've been reading. Y'all, Earn Your Leisures. First of all, Troy and Rashad, come to the front. Come to the front. Okay. I feel like I know you. Okay. Y'all have come into my house. Y'all have made y'all way to the east side of Chicago in my house with y'all book. And I just want to say, these brothers, this book is so damn good. I had to put it down. Not because it was bad, but it was too good. I had to process the information. This is not one of those one and done books, right? This is a book you keep on the bookshelf forever. This is a book that you revisit time and time again as you go along in your financial journey, as you work to earn your leisure. Okay. This is one of those books where you keep that shit in your back pocket because it is chock full of anecdotes and information and affirmations. I found, it's been an incredible book. One of the affirmations that I absolutely love. So here's the book, You Deserve to Be Rich by Rashad Bilal and Troy Millings of the Earn Your Leisure podcast. One of the affirmations that I absolutely loved in the book is, where is it? Let's see here. They said, you are smart and capable of making decisions that are logical and serve your highest good. You are smart and capable of making decisions that are logical and serve your highest good. I mean, even just that alone, it's like, wait, I can do this, right? So I just cannot express enough. I'm only on page 45 in the book. I had to put the book down, take out my notebook. This is a book that you need a notebook, a highlighter, a cup of tea, and some quiet time because it's about to get real. It pushes you to observe, to examine, to process your relationship with money, your money trauma, right? The shame that we embody because of poor money decisions. They sprinkle in, well, not sprinkle in, they hammer in historical context. They talk about the relationship between the past and the present. And they kind of dismantle these myths. You're not lazy, you're not unintelligent, you have just been taught different things about money. And so they really do an excellent job of breaking down the mental barriers and the mental blocks associated with poverty. If you have not gotten your copy already, I urge you, please go and get your copy of Earn Your Leisure, You Deserve to Be Rich by Rashad Bilal and Troy Millings. It is a awesome book, 10 out of 10. no notes. Okay. Also, the book is formatted like a mixtape. So they got side A and side B. So side A is about the mindset, it's about the building blocks. And then side B talks about actual practical, money, REITs, ETFs, investments, stock options, all of that stuff. So it is an excellent book. I have been following Earn Your Leisure for a while now, and I can tell you these guys, not only do they know what they're talking about, but you can see the growth, right? They have shared their growth with all of us, and they're just like you and I. And I think that's the thing. It is a nuanced book. It is for the culture. You can tell from the first line who the book is for. Of course, the book has universal appeal, but the book is written for us. The book is written for you. The book is written in a way and with language and with a frame of reference that I swear to God, you will immediately catch on and identify with. Again, if you have not already, go get your copy. And if y'all listening, can I get a signed copy, please? I already brought mine, but can you send me a signed one to the southeast side of Chicago, please? Thank you. Okay. But speaking of life changing stories, my guest today knows all about turning struggles into successes. Let's dive into my conversation with Robert McKinney. So today's guest is Robert McKinney, a serial entrepreneur, realtor, and broker who knows what it means to hustle, pivot, and keep chasing your dreams. We're talking about everything from his journey as an entrepreneur to tips for finding reliable contractors. And yes, even Beyonce gets a part in this. So let's get into it. Y'all, Robert's story is such a reminder that the journey isn't always easy, but it is worth it. Believe in your vision and the rest will follow.
You got to create your own path. And I've realized that just being an entrepreneur for so many years, I haven't had a job in Jesus knows how long. I think since like 2013, I haven't had a job, like a 9 to 5 punch a clock job. But it's about creating your own path because everybody can't see your vision, especially when you're working up underneath someone. And sometimes you just got to spread your wings and create your own path, create your own vision. Sometimes people can't see it. I tell people this story all the time. Like I got this house and I wanted to renovate this house. I wanted to build like this massive master bedroom on top of this house. And my husband couldn't see the vision. My parents couldn't see the vision. My brothers, like no one could see the vision of what I wanted to build and how I wanted to build it. But I got with the architects, I got with my contractors and stuff like that, and it formed. And they was just like, "Oh my God, I see the vision now." And that's what life is: creating your own vision. Everybody might not see what it is that you see, but as long as you see it and as long as you pushing forward, baby, that's all you need. That's
So
it.
I wanna talk about that a little more. What has been your internal conversation like to bring forth those visions in the midst of people saying, I don't see it? Like why do you keep going? How do you keep going? What's that been like for you? Is it something that you have always had, that confidence, or is it
Yeah.
like something that grew over time?
Yeah, so I just feel like all my life, even from a kid, I've been the type of person that everybody just looked past. Everybody knew of me, but everybody looked past what it was that I wanted to do because I can't think small. I can't think of something in the now. I think so big. And it's just like, well, Robert, we can't do that right now. We can't do that like that. We have to think like this because this is the resources or this is what we have for now. So I just feel like as a kid, just growing up, I've always been faced with situations where I had to keep pushing from my own mind, from my own thoughts. And it basically got me here. You know what I'm saying? Like when you push through the wind or push through the smoke or the cloud or whatever of just people not understanding you, people not understanding your thought process and the way that you're thinking. Yeah. So I just feel like I just been thinking like this forever, you know?
Right.
So I've always known that no one ever will understand understand you as a person, just your thought process. No one understands like who you are or what it is that you want to do. That's the purpose for therapy. Like we go to therapy
Right.
because sometimes we can't even understand what we're thinking in our heads and stuff like that. So if I can't even understand half of the things that I'm thinking about, of course I don't expect you to understand it. So I mean, it's been a struggle because
Right.
you want friends, family around you to understand you or understand the complexity that's going on in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, me speaking to me and me speaking to God, my higher power, and just knowing that it's your vision isn't for everybody. I was just talking to a friend the other day and she just told me, like, Robert, I don't even know what you're doing on social media. Like, that's literally what she said to me. And I'm like, that's okay because I know what I'm doing on social media. I'm just
Right.
living in me through me. Like, this is what I
Yes.
do. Today I'm talking about real estate. Today, tomorrow I'm talking about family problems. Today I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about financing. The next day I'm talking about, construction or something like that. Like, it's just me. I just want to be authentically me.
Right. Me
So,
too. I feel like the personal branding revolution over the last 20 years is like niche down. This is your
niche,
lane.
yes.
Like girl, my niche is me. I'm the
I am the
niche.
niche.
Fuck is y'all talking about? Like the niche
I
is
am the
whatever
niche.
I want.
It's what I want to do. Exactly.
That's the
I am the
niche.
niche. I never understood that either. I did it, because I'm building a team too behind me, and my team was just like, you still have to solidify like the three core things that you want and put it in your bio so everybody will see it. So whatever, I did it. So I said, okay, it's real estate, family. I mean, real estate, fashion, and lifestyle, or whatever. So
Sure.
those are my three, I guess, core things. But it's just like today I might want to talk about current events or something like that, or I want to talk about this, and I don't want to be limited to a niche. I just think so big, like so grand, like the things that I want to do. Like I don't know, I don't know. I
I
can't be
I
limited.
agree. I can identify with that. I feel like, and again, coming from PR, coming from that side of things, it is beneficial
Hmm.
to be a source. Like when you are a news source and people say, okay, that's the fashion guy, that's
Yeah,
the mechanic, that's the auto guy, that's the real estate guy. Sure. Like that, when you show up on ABC, when you show up on Fox, when you show up on MSNBC or CBS, you are the resident expert in fashion, red carpet, or in stocks, right? So
yeah.
we get it. But I think on a practical life level, we should not be limiting ourselves in that way because we ignore. It's like we close off the valves of all the other things that make us us,
Yeah.
and then that shit gets dried up, and then you think you have nothing.
One thing that's funny to me that I always think about is social media is a business. It's you showing how you're an entrepreneur basically. So this is what I'm doing. So whether I'm doing real estate, whether I'm doing fashion, whether I'm living my life out into social media, that's all an umbrella. But at the end of the day, I'm a serial entrepreneur. So I do more than just like my core is real estate, of course. This is like my bread and butter where I make my money. But I still want to be an educator. So I need to teach. I became an author. I needed to write a book. This is how I can teach and teach in the realm that I am. At one point in my life, I was doing like Amazon drop shipping. So products.
Yep,
So I got
we
interested
all
in like
have.
exactly. Yeah. So I got interested in like products and a different type of products. So I'm doing research on
Yes,
products. And then I found out that
yes,
this product is a multi-million dollar industry. This product is $1 billion industry. I'm like, okay, well, I need to create a product. You know what
yes,
I'm saying? Like,
yes,
so you think about all of these different elements. So why do I have to limit myself to a niche? And I'm an entrepreneur. You're gonna see everything that I do. You know what I'm saying? Whether I'm writing a book, I'm selling a product, I'm brushing my teeth. You know what I'm saying?
yes.
I want to show you all of me, to my comfort, to my level of comfort, but
Sure.
I want to show you everything that I'm doing.
I agree. I think that an entrepreneur is entrepreneurial. We
Yeah.
see opportunity. We
Yeah.
see, I mean, you have to try. You have to see what
Hmm.
works. You learn as you go, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like we have gotten so far away from trying. I mean, it's like, well, I don't want to look stupid, or I don't want to throw the public off. Like, baby,
Exactly. You see how many celebrities, and we're talking about A-list celebrities, has failed businesses in the media. Like,
girl,
we
House
should
of
be
Darion failed before Ivy Park.
Ivy
House
Park.
of Darion failed, and then years later, she came out again with Ivy Park, and it blew up. So it's like she would Ivy Park probably wouldn't have blew up if House of Darion didn't come out first. That was the test. That was the
Yeah.
trial. Like, you got to
Yeah.
start somewhere.
You got to start somewhere and you got to keep on trying. You got to keep putting your foot forward. Now, Beyonce is the type of person that, and I really don't want to talk about because, um, Beyonce is the type of person that is just like, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna give y'all as much as I'm giving y'all, and that's gonna be that. You know what I'm saying? So either this business gonna hit or I'm on to the next one. Like that's the type of vibe she gives me. And I love that for her. I love that for me too, because I feel like because she's an A-list celebrity, I see things like that for my own self. Like, damn, you know how many failed businesses I have had? You know what I'm saying? And I keep picking myself up and doing it again and doing it again because there's a certain way that you want to work. There's a certain way that you want to move and things like that. And it might not resonate right with potential customers or potential buyers or consumers of your product or your brand. So you have to find something that's going to resonate with them. Find something that's going to keep the sales going or whatever. So I appreciate what it is that she's doing. Like, I'm not gonna give y'all none of my life because y'all don't deserve it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be as private as I am, but these are the products that resonate with me in this era of my life, and I'm gonna give it to you. And you gonna like it or you not, and I'm gonna be on to the next one. That's it.
And her niche is excellence. Like,
Excellence. Mm-hmm.
that's her brand. It
Yeah.
ain't the brand ain't my body. The brand is my execution. The brand is my attention to detail, my
Yeah.
meticulousness.
Yeah.
It's like it's levels.
No, I feel like everything that Beyonce put out was great, but I just feel like that people hate her because she doesn't put herself into it. She doesn't put more of her into the product or into what it is that she's doing. So I think that's why it don't last. But that whiskey, oh my God.
This is just a testament to how consistency matters, how again that excellency matters as far as your real estate business and all of these other ventures. What has been your theme? Like, what comes across your desk, you're like, yes, and then what comes across your desk, you're like, hell no, that's not for me.
So I'm definitely not like a buyer's or seller's agent. Like I don't like to go show people endless properties. Like that is just not my MO. Like I don't nothing about that makes me happy. But however, I do like to go see very expensive real estate. I like to go see real estate with history behind it. I
Mm.
love real estate in itself, but I like to view it for myself. I call myself a bad realtor because I put my opinions about if people should buy this, if this is a good buy or not into the scenario too much. It's probably abnormal how much I put my opinion in someone else's potential purchase or whatever. So I try to steer away from like buying and selling real estate for individuals. What really makes me happy is investing. I like to turn ugly properties into beautiful money making assets. I love residual income, passive income. So I'm very into like short-term rentals. I love that. And then I'm also into new construction now. I'm trying to, that's part of, investing too. I definitely want to get into like new builds. I want to build communities. I want to leave my name on this earth for generations to come. So that's what I'm into now. Looking at different builders architectural designs and creations in property that's from the 19 and the 1800s and stuff like that, and then it's still around and their name is still swarming the earth with what it is that they built. I want to be that person. Like in 2000s, Robert McKinney-McGee built this, and
Period.
he built this community for this reason and for that, or he rehabbed all of these houses for this reason, for that. So renovation is just like top priority on my to-do list for 2025. Definitely.
Mm.
I'm sorry, new construction. Did I say new construction or renovation? New construction
Yeah, new
is on the top
construction.
of my list. Yeah, it's on the top of my
Yeah.
list for 2025. Starting at me, I want to build my own home too.
With your bare hands.
I've just Ooh, no, no, no.
Okay.
I, no, no, no. I
Let me
need a
clarify
contractor
now.
to do it. No, no, no. I'm looking for a architect to do it. I want to design it, but I want to be in that design process. I want
Sure.
to sit at the table. Just being with so many different architectural designers, with designing the fix and flips that I've done, designing my home that I built my new addition on, and stuff like that. Like, love that process, just creating and then watching it form. Oh my God, it's so
Mm-hmm.
satisfying to me. It's kind of like a guilty pleasure.
Yes.
So that's kind of like where the space that I want to be in now.
I love that. So, can you walk us through that process from concept to completion? So, I wake up today and I'm like, you know what? Fuck this house. I'm ready to see something different. What is the first step in seeing that through? Is it finding a architect? Is it, getting the loan? Just if somebody's listening right now and they have these desires to breathe new life into their space, what would you suggest be kind of like the chain of events?
Well, first, I would say follow your dreams, number one. Make all of your dreams come true, because a lot of my ideas start in my dreams. People might think I'm crazy for that, but I dream and I dream so big, and I feel like my dreams are so real. Have you ever had the dream that you were falling and you actually fell out the bed? Like, my dreams are real like that. Like that. Like, I
Wow.
feel like I can feel the space. And then I wake up and
Yes.
I'm so pissed because I'm like, how can I obtain it? How can I get what I just dreamed about? Because it felt so real to me. So I guess that's where my reality starts. My reality definitely starts in the dream. And then I write it down. After I dream it, I write it down because I need to remember it. So I write down everything that I think I may need, where I want it to be, where I envisioned it to be. I put all of that into perspective, and then I build upon that, whether it is going to find a lender, which is so taboo. That's like a whole nother episode that I can talk about, like the lending world and how it's not what people say it is. It's not what
Mm.
people say it is. And once you get into the real estate space, the construction renovation space, you will see like, damn, you get so many more closed doors than you do get open. Then the open doors come, especially when it comes to financing the deals. But when you navigate the financial aspect of it, where you're going to get the money from or how you're going to fund this deal, then you start working with the architect and the contractors, and you go through that interview process with both sources. I went through probably about 7 different architects before I found the architect that was probably he probably lives literally like 6 or 7 blocks away from my house. Like, there, it's
Wow.
so close. Like, your neighborhood, like the people that's there for you and that can help you are so close to you.
Wow.
Um, he literally lives that close to me, and he's seen my vision. A lot of the architects that I talked to didn't see my vision either, when it came
Mm.
to renovating my space. So I had to find that one who's seen and understood the vision.
I love that. You being secure in your vision so that you can not just taking
Yep.
somebody else's, and I think like we become so desperate sometimes. Maybe that's in our culture. I don't know if that's some Black American thing, but like we so desperate, we just take anything. But I love how you said I interviewed 7 people. Like, damn, I didn't even know, like I feel
Yeah.
like that's a part of the patience and the
Yeah.
the purpose and the vision. So I love that.
No, we're so desperate. I want to piggyback off of what you said. We're so desperate that we allow people to change our perspective. You can't change my mind. You can't change what my universe gave me for a vision. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I dream. This is how it's supposed to go. So this person said, no, it can't be done. This person said, no, it can't be done. Who is that? Was it Walt Disney or Apple
I
that
don't
got
know.
told no to 27 by 27 different banks that your vision, what you're trying to create, we don't see it. We don't understand it. And one person told them yes. It's crazy. You have to that's how life really works. You have to go through all of these no's before someone actually understands what it is that you're trying to envision. Or they say, you know what, I don't understand it, but I'm a rock with what you're going with. And we gonna see how it goes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because everybody doesn't understand it. But from understanding, finding somebody to understand your vision, and then you have to find somebody that's going to execute it. So
Right.
going through contractors, I think I only went through probably like 3 contractors, but I went through contractors not because of the price that they were quoting me. I went through contractors because of the levels, the stages. So that's me executing from start to finish. Starts with a dream, ends with the executor, the person who's going to fulfill it.
So, what are these conversations? What are you looking for in a contractor when you are having these conversations? Are you looking for experience? Are you looking for malleability? Like if personality fit? Like what is it that you're looking for to say, okay, this feels good?
Yeah. So the biggest thing that I'm looking for in a contractor is definitely above all is experience. Like I want to go and see the job sites that you've completed and the job sites that you're currently on too. The
Mm.
contractor that I found, again, I found him a couple blocks away from my house and he was
Wow.
actually working on a job. He was in
Right.
process of working on a job, like constructing a job. And I just stood right there and I had a conversation with him. I did not tell him that I was looking for a contractor. I did not tell him the vision that I had. I just wanted to see what he had going on
Right.
and what he was doing. I walked through his spaces and I'm sure he probably had the notion of this person might want to hire me along the way,
Sure.
but their willingness to, that's very important as
Right.
well. So someone could push you off really, really fast because you're not talking business.
Right.
But their willingness just to take the time to understand, like, or make sense of what they're doing, should I say? Because if you can't explain your
Right.
work, then how am I going to explain my work that I want you to do for me?
Right. Right. I
So,
love that. I love the inside
yeah.
scoop. Give me the scoop, baby. I appreciate I love it. I appreciate it. I'm so grateful that you're here. So
Yeah.
we're coming to an end, but this is the Unsolicited podcast. So I want all of my
Mm.
guests to give me one piece of unsolicited advice for our listeners to take home with them. So what would you say?
Listen, don't allow a no to stop you. If you allow a no to stop you, then you'll never understand your full potential.
Did you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? Okay, take that no, turn that shit on its side. Okay, let it in one ear, out the other, for sure. All right, y'all, that's it for today's episode. If you enjoyed it, please share it with a friend, leave a review, and let me know what stood out to you. I'm so grateful for this community, and I cannot wait to keep growing with y'all. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss next week's episode. It's going to be another good one.